In this session, we're going to talk about managing inventory and what mindset's necessary to achieve breakthrough improvement to get that significant gain in the company. So one of the beliefs around managing inventory is a better way to service a customer is to hold more inventory. So if we have more inventory available, of course, that's going to be available for the customer when they call and ask for it. Holding more inventory will help us service the customer better. So I want to challenge that mindset. So the first thing we want to do is understand what is the replenishment time. So the replenishment time is made up of 3 elements. And to measure it, you can just pick any point in the supply chain and you start measuring when material arrives at that point until material for the same item arrives at that point for the next order. So here I'm using finished goods as my point of consumption. And I'm going to first measure the order lead time. So when material shows up, we're using a min-max inventory system, we start the clock. So when material shows up at the point of consumption, we start the clock until it gets down to the min point and we place the order. So that's the order lead time. And of course, that's got to go back to production or our supplier, and the time from when they receive that order until they complete that order is the production and supply lead time. And then the third element is the transportation lead time back to the point of consumption. So the 3 elements are order lead time, the supply and production lead time, and the transportation lead time to complete the cycle. So I want to look at an environment where we have a production lead time of 10 days, our transportation lead time is 1 day, our average daily consumption of one particular item is 50 units a day. And our min is 200, so that's our reorder point, and our max is 800. So we order up to the max when we hit the min. So the first question is, what is the order lead time in this scenario? And then what is the replenishment time? So of course, to calculate the order lead time, we start and say, okay, average daily consumption of 50 units. So material shows up at the point of consumption, we're at 800 and the clock starts. So day 2, we consume 100 units. Day 4, we consume another 100 units and so forth. And it keeps working down. The inventory keeps going down until we hit the replenishment reorder point. And in this case, the order lead time is 12 days. Average of 50 units a day. By the time we get down to 200 units, that's 12 days. So that is the answer to our first question. So our order lead time is 12 days. Now, the replenishment time is that lead time plus the production lead time plus the transportation lead time. So our total replenishment time is 23 days in this case. So now if we look at the replenishment time for that scenario, we have 12 days of the order lead time, 10 days for the supply and production lead time, 1 day for the transportation lead time for a total of 23 days. Now what happens if we change it up and go to a make to availability concept where we're going to reduce the order quantity significantly from 800 units down to 100 units. So what is the impact of that by doing smaller batches? So let's calculate it. So now we have day 0, stuff shows up at the point of consumption, and in 2 days we get to the trigger point and we reorder. The order lead time goes from 12 days to 2 days. And of course, our supply and production lead time remains the same, and our transportation lead time is the same. So our order lead time is 2 days. Replenishment time now goes to 13 days. So if we look at this scenario in the replenishment time, again, our order lead time is now 2 days, production supply lead time 10 days, transportation lead time 1 day. The new replenishment time becomes 13 days. So we're reducing from 23 days to 13 days. So what impact does that have on our inventory? So when we look at setting inventory targets, our target calculation is the maximum consumption within the average replenishment time factored by unreliability of the replenishment time. So in this case, we're reducing the replenishment time from 23 days to 13 days. So of course, the maximum consumption within that period of 13 days is going to be much less than 23 days. Not quite half, but significantly less. So now what does that mean? So now the target inventory is what's on hand plus what's on the way, what's on order. So of course, we're going to have more orders on the way, and so we can get away with much less finished goods inventory because orders are going to be coming into finished goods at a much higher frequency. So in that case, by reducing replenishment time, the organization can respond quicker to consumption and therefore hold less inventory, coupled with actually better delivery performance. So the mindset needs to be, we can hold less inventory by reducing the replenishment time, and the goal should always be to try to reduce the replenishment time, reduce the replenishment time, reduce the replenishment time. If we reduce that replenishment time, we can hold much less inventory and give the same performance of delivery. So that's our session today for the mindset around inventory. Next week's session is going to focus on how do we establish price, looking at our cost plus concept and calculating margin to determine what price we should set for our product or service.